Hi, this is Jeremy. My lesson this week is on the subject of parallel effects, which we use when we want to apply the same effect to multiple tracks. And perhaps the best example of this is when we're applying reverb. So, as you'll see, I've got a few tracks here which I recorded earlier, and if I listen to them without any effects on at all, I remember it well. There was time. So a little bit thin. It was recorded in a bedroom, so perhaps not the best place to record, and it just sounds a little bit shallow and could do with a bit of help. So the first thing I'm going to do is insert a new track, and I'm going to give that a name just so that I remember what I'm doing. So let's call that reverb. Now I could route all of these tracks individually to directly to the reverb track. When Loudon was presenting this material earlier in the week, he explained the concept of a bus. So we'd normally route all of our tracks onto a shared bus, and that bus would route the signal through to the single reverb track. I'm using Reaper, which doesn't seem to use the concept of a bus in quite the same way. And in many ways it actually makes it easier because it hides all that from you. You can just route tracks directly to each other. So if I were to do that one by one, which I can do by adding a new send, and then I can route this is the acoustic guitar track, I can route that straight to the reverb track, and then I could continue for all the other tracks. Handily, Reaper offers a shortcut for this, which is to add a new receive to the track that I want to send to, and I can add receives from all tracks, and that basically routes, as you can see here, that routes all of the other tracks through that reverb track. So I'll also want to actually add the effect in here. So I'm going to pick the Reverb8 VST plugin, and I can see here that there are some kind of handy presets that I can choose from. So let's just pick something like live vocal. So that's got a kind of smallish room size, a little bit of damping, and some other bits and bobs that I can edit as I choose. But let's just carry on with that and see if that sounds any different. I remember it well. There was time that So hopefully you'll have heard there that added a fair bit of reverb, bit of warmth to that track. The other kind of production that I could do here is to add a little bit of space to that. So at the moment, there's not much difference in left and right balance, panning left and right. So I could move that around a bit. But another area of space is bringing instruments forward or back in the mix. The way that I would choose to do that is I could pick something like a bass, which is normally played quite near the front of the stage. Now, instruments that are nearer to you have less space in which for the sound to bounce around, so they tend to have a little bit less reverb picked up by your ear, and I can simulate that by dialing down the post-send signal to the reverb channel, which means that less reverb is applied for that track. And yeah, so that's that. I don't think you'll probably hear very much difference because that's just coming through my speakers on my laptop and not through some awesome set of monitoring headphones or speakers. Anyway, hopefully you found that useful. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope you're enjoying the course as much as me.